What is different this year at the holiday season for you than was last year? So, I just put this Christmas tree up a week ago. Normally, this particular Christmas tree, which is the one I personally decorate with my kids typically, and everybody contributes. Melanie does the garland, and I put it up and put the lights on, and then the kids help me put the ornaments on. And normally this tree doesn't go up until literally 3 days before Christmas. This is one of two trees. Melanie does a beautiful tree downstairs, and then this is the family tree that it's got ornaments on it from that are 100 years old. Right, it's got all kinds of stuff on it and the old time lights and it's the near and dear Christmas tree to me. And so we put it up early this year because our kids won't be here for Christmas, so they wanted to have it up. And I'm like, of course, let's do it. And so then, as I'm wont to do, I reflected a little bit. And, this particular Christmas tree and this style of decorating, I was thinking, how many of these have I done? In my household, growing up, when my father really wasn't there much, and then he was gone, and then, well, it's irrelevant to where the story starts. But essentially, it was my mom and I a lot of the time. My kids, my brother and sister were older. And I think it was somewhere around when I was 10 or 11 that I started doing the Christmas tree. And, my mom and I would go out. Sometimes we went out Christmas Eve night to buy a Christmas tree. And then, go. Can you imagine how those looked? You talk about some really skinny looking, scraggly looking trees. But you know what? We made them look great. At least I thought they looked great. It felt great. It was great. So that's all that matters. And then I would decorate the tree. And so I was thinking about this. I think I've done about 50 of these now in my life, where I've decorated essentially 50 Christmas trees, special Christmas trees. Of course, and then I always go to two things. One is I wonder how many more Christmas trees I'll decorate in my life. I don't know what my allotment is. If my allotment's 100, I'm halfway through. But if it's 53, and that's an important thing to remember, I don't reflect on life morbidly. I reflect on it the opposite way. I cherish every day, and I don't care what it is. I don't care how I wake up. I don't care what my circumstances are. I cherish that I get another day, because anything that can happen to anyone at any time can happen to me at any time, and to someone else at any time. So I don't take anything for granted. And so, I think about how many more Christmas trees will I get. So I really appreciate it when I do a Christmas tree, because I don't know. But I also carry that forward into my life. And the message here from that perspective is I won't settle in life. I adopted that mentality. I would say 35 and a half years ago is when I made the decision I'm not settling anymore. I'm not going to just do what other people think I should do. I'm going to do what's on my heart to do, and I'm going to do things based on my values and what are important to me. And that's what led to an amazing life, because I refused to settle. And that's my message to you. You can't settle. If you are settling, you're settling, and you're putting off doing something about it. And if you're not certain if you're settling, that requires some introspection, because you don't want to get too much farther down the road, if you're blessed to get farther down the road, and go, I never did that thing. I never took a chance on myself. I never went after what I really wanted in life. This ain't a dress rehearsal. You're in the game, whether you want to be in the game or not. You're not really sitting on the sidelines, because life is moving. And there's too much in you, whether you believe that or not, which would mean you need work, right? You need to work on yourself. If you don't understand you have so much to contribute, that you are unique and special. But there's so much for you to do. and you don't know how many Christmas trees you got left. So, it's not like you should put it off. You don't put off life. You go after it. You grab it and you cling to it and you go with it as hard as you can, because you only get one shot that you're aware of. And so the tree helps to remind me, you don't settle. So in this case, I'm very blessed because I didn't settle and I continued. I lived the life I want to live. So there's really not anything else for me to do. And so now for me, it's I won't settle because there's too many people to help. There's so many people that need help. And I'm grateful that I'm driven by that. But the point is, I won't settle until I help as many people as I possibly can in what I do. And I won't settle until I serve. I won't settle from a serving my family and the people I love capacity until I'm incapable of doing that anymore, which hopefully that's many Christmas trees from now. So I encourage you to take a little time and over this holiday season and consider whenever you put up your decorations, whatever they are, for whatever you celebrate in this season, that you really reflect about where you are in your life and is that okay? And what would make it better? And how are you going to go about doing it? And get busy on it, because life is short and you have a lot to offer. And you're never going to be able to help a lot of people or make a contribution to others in this life until you open your heart up and go for things that grow you into the person that does that. And if you're already a person that does that, but you're not taking care of yourself well, or you haven't been true to yourself in your work, then those things are limiting you from being the best that you can be in serving others. So, there's your message for today. Don't settle, ever, in any case, when it comes to what you want your life to look like. I hope this is helpful.